What's up everyone, it's Arcadenaut here, and today I will be talking about Under Night in Birth 2 Celes, the sequel to Under Night in Birth series. A 2D fighting game known for its fast and deep fighting mechanics and engaging storyline. If you're interested in the story and the previous events of Under Night in Birth, be sure to watch my video about first game story recap first, as this installment continues the series story along with new characters, new mechanics, visual improvements, and with a rollback netcode. Unfortunately, Under Night 2 does not have any cross-platform, so PlayStation and PC users are unable to fight against each other. However, if you are looking for a new 2D fighting game, or just interested in its characters and the world setting, then let me guide you through the final night. To be completely honest, Under Night in Birth 2 Celes feels like the improvement that Granblue Fantasy Versus received, evolved into Rising. Although it's a sequel and a completely new game, the improvements can be felt through the technical aspects, with new mechanics, improved tutorial and mission mode to learn through the basics, as well as the combo potential for your characters, along with the newly built rollback netcode. However, there is also a downgraded side: the story, the narrative, and the single-player content. Just, if I were to put it shortly, Under Night's narrative centers around Hyde, a high school student who, upon encountering Glenn, discovers his latent excess powers that turned him into an invert. After stopping Hilda the Paradox in the prequel, this time their journey is against Lynn's brother, Kuon the Aeon, and it is not just a battle for dominance, but also fight against an impending apocalypse. Kuon, as the new antagonist, tries to bring the immortalize, ending all life and existence, along with its eternal life. If you are confused about who these characters are, be sure to give my Under Night story recap video a look, since Celes takes place 3 months after the events of the previous game and we don't know what happened during those times. This time there is no chronicle mode just like in the prequel, and we learn all about the story with the character-based arcade modes. If you play as Hyde, we get to learn that Lynn is missing, Lynn's trustful guardian Wildstein betrayed our cause and sided with Kuon due to Kuon saving Wildstein's life ages ago. As Hyde tries to save the world and tries to save Lynn by himself, other characters have their own problems to deal with. For example, Byakuya, still fighting for Strix's sake, and Hilda the Paradox, the antagonist of the prequel, tries to fulfill her wishes of becoming a rebirth by destroying Kuon the Aeon. If you're into the narrative of Under Night in Birth and also looking for a single-player content like Street Fighter 6, Granblue Rising, or Tekken 8 has, then Celes might not leave you quite satisfied. As if the developer team French Bread focused more on the gameplay mechanics and the technical side of Under Night 2. The single-player content consists of arcade, time attack, and survival mode, but I doubt anyone would like to do those. So let's continue with what Under Night in Birth 2 Celes does better than the prequel. It builds on its predecessor's strong foundation with enhanced and new mechanics that deepen the strategic and technical aspects of gameplay. The game's unique grid system remains central, governing the flow of combat and rewarding tactical play, as it revolves around a meter that players feel through various actions like attacking, blocking, and moving. Winning the grid cycle, which resets at set intervals, rewards the player with enhanced abilities, including increased damage output and access to powerful moves, also encouraging a balanced approach between offense and defense that aims to compel the players to engage in tactical approaches in neutral ground. Besides that, new to the sequel are advanced guard mechanics and revisions to the combo system, allowing for more varied and dynamic battles. 2 additional fundamental mechanics are Celestial State and Creeping Edge, as Celestial State grants players more of the grid gauge for special moves if the player wins the grid cycle with 6 or more blocks of grid. As for Creeping Edge, it allows players to approach an opponent while dodging attacks, that is especially quite useful in close-range battles. As these are the fundamental fighting mechanics, Under Night 2 also allows players to deal extra damage when they press both A and B buttons while they are doing combos that makes them glow in purple pinkish color and do a special move with extra damage within that combo. as these mechanics are designed to be accessible to newcomers while offering depth and complexity for veteran players as well. And of course, if you're a newcomer, tutorials are a must. The developer team French Bread improved the whole tutorial and mission modes, teaching players both the fundamental Under Night 2 mechanics from baby steps to most complex veteran mechanics. Even if you are new to Under Night or have an experience in fighting games, I definitely advise you to take a look at tutorial first, as it teaches you how to dodge, guard and even do dash and assault moves that lets you close the gap and start doing combos from mid-air. As for the mission mode, each and every character has their own beginner, intermediate, advanced and expert combos that you can learn and practice. However, the first section that is called coaching helps you to understand the logic of that character, like how you should approach that character, which moves count as reversal, or how to do block strings, anti-air, and much more. With that, let's move on to the newcomers of Under Night in Birth 2, Celes. While retaining all 21 characters from the original game, including guest characters like Altinum and Akatsuki, Celes introduces 3 new characters, Tsurugi, Kaguya, and Kuon. Each new character adds unique gameplay elements and expands the narrative's depth, and if I were to talk about myself, differing from the prequel, I focus more on Kuon, Gordo, Enkidu, and Lin this time, after playing the arcade modes and preparing a story recap for the prequel. With his reach, Rekka moves, and grid absorb ability, I think I chose Gordo as my main and went for ranked. And unfortunately, there is no character-based ranks, but it's bound to your profile. Meaning that I got demoted a lot when I played as Yuzuriha and Altinum, and again grinded ranked matches with Gordo for promotion. And when other fighting games like Granblue Fantasy vs Rising and Street Fighter 6 are considered, I definitely prefer character-based ranks. And the reason for that is, character-based ranks really do motivate me to try out different characters, grinding rank from the bottom. I do this in Granblue Fantasy vs Rising and also in Street Fighter 6. And I really do enjoy trying out different characters like Orie, Batista, Enkidu and even Altinum, but these profile-based ranks actually prevent me from going ranked with these characters. So I found myself looking for Japanese players in custom rooms. Actually, we have seen all of these newcomers in the prequel, the member of EFG Tsurugi, the 6th executioner of Lichtkreis Kaguya, and Lin's older brother, the rebirth Kuon. Tsurugi with his shield-based combat allows for a defensive yet aggressive playstyle. Especially his shield stance is quite good to pressure his opponents to the corner and then mix up for low attacks that can lead to either DP special moves or as another combo starter. As for Kaguya, her versatility as a character is notable with her ability to adapt different playstyles, functioning both as rushdown and a zoner depending on the matchup. Kuon, the main antagonist, stands out with his zoning abilities that create substantial pressure, complemented by mid-range combos that control the pace of a match. His style is particularly accessible for newcomers, offering a balance of range and power. As all of these characters feel quite strong, I would recommend Kuon if you are new to Under Night in Birth. As in fact, I watched the live stream of the game designer Serizawa Kamone and asked some tips and tricks for the newcomers. Basically, he advised to use the characters that are big and have wider range than others, namely Wildstein, Merkaba, Phonon, Gordo, Kuon and Carmine, was Serizawa's own advices with characters having long ranges. And I think I would advise you to do the same, since Under Night in Birth has core player base that are really good at this game, possibly would demotivate you to play quite quickly. The matchmaking of course works, the rollback netcode is solid, however you might find yourself getting wrecked and even not being able to win a round. So in order to prevent this, head to tutorial, head the mission mode, play casual matches, play arcade, and then head for the ranked matches as last. You might still lose a lot of matches, but at least you would understand why you lose those matches, or what you lack, and what you should do or to focus on your next match. quality of life improvements such as custom color slots and highly anticipated rollback netcode elevate the game's playability. And as I mentioned before, the online experience in Celes is greatly enhanced by the introduction of rollback netcode, ensuring smoother and more stable matches. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I live in Japan, can play against players from Europe and North America without any issues. However, the lack of crossplay is heavily felt. So it might be best to choose which platform you should purchase the game before. Custom color slots, on the other hand, enables players to create their own color palette for their characters that they can use for any kind of game mode. As last but not least, Celes does not disappoint in terms of visual and audio enhancements, as it's a direct improvement on both scales, providing better audio effects, remixes of the original soundtracks and improved sprite character designs. Basically, graphics with more detailed environments. Both the character arts and the sprite animations resolution is increased to provide more charming visuals, and as I said, Celes is more of a sequel in terms of technical aspects, but falls short when it comes to narrative and the single player content. Undernight in Birth 2 Celes might not seem like other fighting games. It has its own fighting dynamic, its own rhythm and combo routes to master, and arguably I find it as a hard to master fighting game, but also quite rewarding if you invest time in it. It's a bit unfortunate to be released in the same week as Tekken 8, but I'm having fun playing ranked mode. I do enjoy the challenge it presents, and Undernight in Birth 2 Celes has really unique characters that are quite unorthodox when compared to other fighting titles. It takes some time and effort to enjoy it the fullest. It's definitely worth giving it a chance if you're into fighting games, but be sure to decide on the correct platform before purchasing it. I may continue making more videos about Undernight 2 Celes, but for the time being, I'm gonna focus on Tekken 8. Possibly making a review video first and then maybe some 100 ranked matches or guides, so be sure to share what you would like to see in the future as well. As always, thank you for watching today's video. If you bought Undernight 2 and looking for someone to play with, just join my Discord channel. I'm planning to organize some events, maybe tournaments with the release of Tekken 8, so yeah, consider joining my Discord channel or follow me on Twitter for more information. Any humble support through Patreon and YouTube join is really appreciated, and I will see you soon in the next video.